what are some of the things that a guy does that annoy you?
Boy. All right. Those annoyances and pet peeves, right? One of the thing is you don't know me, maybe you're just trying to show an interest. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
we're talking or messaging for a little, and you're going to say, "Can you send me a sexy pic?" No, I can't send you a sexy pic. Check
Ooh.
Instagram if you want a sexy pic. So no, I don't like that question.
It's
Can you
a
send me
turn
a
off.
sexy pic?
Yeah.
It's a turn off. Another thing that's a turn off, and I'm not trying to dig why it's a turn off, but it's a turn off for me.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe because I don't cook, but I don't know, right? But it's a turn off for me when men you don't really know them, but that's their way to try and to look you or to have a conversation. We ask you what's for lunch, or you can't invite me for dinner, or if them see you have something eating, them will say, beg you some now, or can you, or give me a piece or whatever. I don't like
Oh,
it. Any
oh,
variation of that, whether it's what's for lunch, you can't invite me for dinner, I can't come for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Any variation
mm-hmm.
of that is really a turn off
An
for me.
annoyance.
Yeah,
Okay.
man, long belly man, them I can't deal with it, right? Like you want
Ladies on the glass, please
no, no.
don't
Find some other
your
way to
response.
strike a
Okay?
conversation, right? Find some other way. Tell me say you like my hair color. Tell me say you like my smile.
And
But
that's
be
a
honest.
beautiful
But telling me be honest about it. But don't not ask me for no food or the dinner
thing
and all that something.
like that.
Annoying, man. It's annoying.
All right. So
Wait
men,
a minute. Another thing what annoy me is when either them DM or WhatsApp and them just say hi or hey. And
oh
that's
my
it.
God.
And then why you
Like
respond
what?
and then you respond again. No, say everything you're saying one
Mm-mm.
time. Say what you're saying at one time so I can decide if I want to answer or how I want to answer. But you're not going to try to trap me by saying, hey, hi. No, say what you're saying,
True.
right?
My
Or
uncle, my
in worst
uncle,
case scenarios, WYD, like what you're doing. Like,
what?
hello, you're how old? Like I am not a young chicken. What do you mean by WYD? If you
My uncle Steve says, and my uncle who I'm talking is Steve Harvey, and he says, when men just say hi and hello and them little stuff there, it's like they're throwing out their fishing rod. So
Oh,
they just go
well, I'm
to
sorry to you
and
because all I'm going to do
so they
is
just
send you a
want
link to
to
either my ebook or the Make More Money workshop. If you go tell me hi, that is what you're getting. Because you must be asking me more about the products and services that I am offering, and you want to support me. And that leads me to something else. So wait,
Mhm.
before I go to that, let me give you another one of those abbreviations. That so I say I don't like the WYD. Listen,
Yeah, what you
if
doing?
it's my birthday and you're sending me a HBD for happy birthday, we are not compatible.
Accepting
Because
that
if you can't write out happy birthday, even if it's just write out happy birthday,
it's
me and
better.
you be together, we're not compatible. I don't even have
Mm-hmm.
to ask. I know that we're not compatible if you cannot write out happy birthday,
Okay.
right?
So
So,
you know
to go
what you
back,
want.
so I was going to go back to something. What was that again?
Girl,
Um,
I quit. To be
I can't remember. I can't remember. So yeah,
yes,
so those are my annoyances. Anybody can remember what I said I was going to go back to?
yes, guys, help us out. But one thing though, a question came in and I'd like to ask so the viewer can know. As a vegan, the question was posed, as a vegan, do you drink pop?
What's pop?
Like Coca-Cola, soda, so
Oh,
to
as
speak.
I
Pop
was
is soda,
remember what I
sorry.
said initially, as a vegan, you can drink soda, but I am not a vegan because I care about the animals or the environment. Not that I don't, but that's not my
Yeah.
primary reason for being vegan. My primary
Okay.
reason for being vegan is for health. So I actually
Mm-hmm.
stopped drinking soda even before I thought of becoming a vegan. And remember, I said that I
Understood.
don't drink sugar. I don't use sugar. Well,
Mm-hmm.
soda has a lot of sugar. So that answers your question. So no, I don't drink soda.
All right, great. So, guys, to share with you some of the other
Oh,
responses
no,
that
no,
I
no,
got.
no. I was
Go ahead.
going to talk about, I was saying how when they message to ask about, to say hi or hello, I send them a link to a product or service that I am offering. And I'm saying, like, men need to step their game up, right? You're
Mm-hmm.
following a page, you probably see likes, dislikes, you see her ambition, maybe you see that she posting that she's selling stuff or she just started
Yes,
a business or all of that. Like, get creative, no? Like,
your
put
true
some
self, you know.
thought in it, no? You know that if you bought a
Preach,
product
girl,
from her,
preach.
if you bought a product from her, trust me, she would have recognized. When she see a name, she gonna recognize. So when you message her and she gonna recognize and she more likely to
I
answer
true
because you bought a
self,
product from
talk
her.
true
Or
self.
you keep sharing her stuff and she see that you keep sharing her stuff. So so when you actually send her a message, you don't even have to go straight for it. You can say, hey, I love what you're doing, and I shared it with my family and cousins and people who are seeing, even if it's not something that you're interested in. I share it with people who I notice are interesting or who I
Interested in
believe it would
exactly.
benefit and whatever. Start away,
True.
easy,
I
make sure to say you're
totally
supportive
and
and you
100%
care about
support
the things that she
that.
cares about and you are
Yeah,
interested in whatever. In this
definitely.
society, no man, his sister she about on her business, she focus, she about her business and you combo high.
Girl,
No
you
man,
couldn't send it,
set
you
your
couldn't say
game
it
up, set
better.
your game up.
Yeah. Mhm. I remember a friend of mine, even on Instagram, sharing a clip of a video with something similar where this lady came out and, sent a video and said, she's doing this for all the women. She's tired of men just coming into her DM to say hi, beautiful, and so on. Like, what's that? You've not gone to my page, said anything about my product, bought anything from me, and hi, beautiful, and then we don't get responses. They want to trace you off sometimes.
Exactly, exactly. If you're interested in somebody, show that you're interested. And one of the ways to show that you're interested is to let them realize that you see
You're
that they're doing something
yes.
progressive and you want to help them. So either buying the product or referring others to the product. And if you really want
Mm-hmm.
to step your game up, because you can be referring other people to the product and she don't know that you're referring other people to the product.
Referring
So you
other
can
people.
actually message her to say, hey, I shared it with this person and that person in my family. If you get a message from them,
So and so.
yeah. So at least, she have you in her radar. So when you message, she would be more open to responding because she see that
Definitely.
you're supportive, right?
Makes sense. You hit
Mm-hmm.
the nail on the head, girls. In a relationship, I just think you can read my mind. In a relationship, what would be a deal breaker for you?
All right, let's say in a relationship, I think there are two things that would be deal breakers for me. Lying, lying, lying. I cannot deal with the
People
lie.
she's singing
I,
it, send up the likes.
I cannot deal with the lie, Dave. I swear I cannot deal with lies, y'all. All right, so lying is a deal breaker for me. And the reason it's one of the reasons that it's a deal breaker for me is because I start like in the beginning, I everything is good per se. So you start on like those teachers who say that they start everybody have 100% when you start, but then
Mm-hmm.
after depending on the work you do, you get So you start with your 100%. And
Yeah.
then no. So you start with your 100% trust, or not really, but you start with your trust, right? Because the fact that we're not in a relationship, it means that I must have made those checks and balances, and I thought that okay, we're a good
Yeah.
fit, and all of that.
Yours
So
is
we're
your
actually in a relationship, lying would be a deal breaker, and it would be a deal breaker because for me, trust is important, and trust is really one of the glues that keep a relationship together. So if I have lost trust because I found out that you lied, then the relationship would probably go downhill from there. So a deal breaker for me would be lying. But another deal breaker for me is disrespect.
Wow.
I cannot deal with disrespect, right? If you and let's say disrespect can be perceived, So communication is really important. So, but I'm just saying, generally speaking, disrespect is a deal breaker. No, when I talk about disrespect being perceived, because somebody may say something to you and they did not say it with the intention to be disrespectful, but it was disrespectful to you based on how you perceived it. Communication, no, depending on what it is, communication can fix that. However, when you are outright disrespectful, so you're either disrespecting me, my physical being, my beliefs and values, whatever it is you're disrespecting outrightly, then that is a deal breaker for me. So that's deal breakers within a relationship. Disrespect and lying, I think, are my two major disrespects. Deal breakers, if you're trying to look me now, or we're just dating, I would say, like if we're dating and then I find this out, this is a deal breaker, that kind of deal breaker. One, I think financial irresponsibility, like a habit of financial irresponsibility is a deal breaker. Like if maybe you don't have things in order, but instead of being focused on trying to build, you focus on maybe other things that not building. So you're spending more than you earn. You want to buy stuff that you don't need just so that you can flaunt or whatever reason. So financial irresponsibility is a deal breaker. Sexual irresponsibility is a deal breaker. And when I say sexual irresponsibility, in the fact that you and I are dating or whatever, it becomes a deal breaker because based on your habits, how you treat your sexual encounters, that will determine, maybe you will give me disease if you're not responsible with the sexual encounters. So just and so sexual irresponsibility is a deal breaker for me as well. Bad hygiene, and not just with teeth and underarm, but how you're taking care of your penis. That is important, because if that's going to go inside of me, it you have to take care of it, have to clean, right?
Girl, can I tell you I love you?
So,
I love you.
So bad hygiene. Somebody who lacks accountability. That's definitely a deal breaker. You're trying to blame everybody and everything else instead of saying, okay, I erred right here. Sorry about that. Let me do better next time and whatever. So for people so it's a deal breaker for me when men don't, they lack accountability. They don't take responsibility for their actions. They have too much excuse. Like, I did this because this, or just take responsibility, be accountable. So those are some of the deal breakers for me.
So Stacia, tell me, do girls honestly like nice guys, or do you like nice guys?
Right, I rather you say I like nice guys, because I don't like me like respect, me like truth, me like all them things. So me like nice guys.
Okay, but
it's the perception of nice. Like if I think you're nice, that more like, because I'm more likely, I shouldn't be saying this, next thing people go strategize, but I am more likely to get with somebody who we start on a foundation of friendship, who them never put an argument to me, and we're just friends and we're talking, and then so therefore I'm able to let down my guard, and that's how they catch me, right? But
Okay.
normally my guard is well up and well strong. So I
Okay.
think that's so I'm talking about the past, because I've not even been in a relationship for a long time, so I don't really know how it would work right now. Because you think you have everything in your mind, how you think it
That's true.
but then when
But
you're
when you're
in the
in the
experience, you don't know. So
different things.
so I would say but I know for sure that I want good
A
treatment,
nice
somebody
guy.
to treat me good, somebody who has respect for me, and all those things I would consider nice. So yes, I would prefer nice guys.
All right. So some of my audience members said they like bad boys. Some people said they've never really been with a nice guy, so they wouldn't know. And some people say yes, they like a nice guy. And nothing ain't wrong with nice guys. And I'm talking nice too from the perspective of, as you mentioned, some of the things, somebody who is respectable and some all of that kind of things, not necessarily having that type of quote unquote
Right, because
bad boy.
you can be nice, but you protect yourself, your family when the time comes. So nice don't mean that you don't have no edge to fight for your family and fight for
Yes.
what is right. Nice don't mean that. Nice
Mm-hmm.
mean that you have the integrity, and what you say you value, and who you say you are aligns, go back to personal branding now, aligns with
Yes.
what you do, your action. So if you say you're a man of integrity, your actions show you're a man of integrity. If you say you're reliable, your actions show you're reliable. If you say this is this, so you're honest, you're not telling a
Mm-hmm.
lie. That for me is nice.
All right. So another question I had asked, and I'm gonna try to make this simple. Would you rather date a rich guy with no integrity who spoils you, or someone who doesn't have much money but has principles and adores you? Which one?
Well,
Which one you going to
I
choose?
don't know if I have to choose, but let me tell you this. The fact that I tell you that having lying is a deal breaker for me, then
Yeah.
say the number one choice wouldn't be mine.
Oh,
Um, because a man with no integrity, we wouldn't be compatible, because then I wouldn't be able to trust him. As it
yes.
pertains though to a man with principles that adores me, what are his principles?
Mm-hmm.
Is one of his principles financial responsibility? Is one of his
Okay.
principles reliability? Because I believe with the right
Accountability.
principles,
Yeah.
well, this is a 20-year-old Stasio, or a 30-year-old Stasio. But if you have the right principles, then we know where, and the right habits, we know where you're going to end up, right? So
Yes.
what are his principles? At 40 now, or older than 40, his principles would have already, or probably have led him closer to where he wants to go at 40. But at 21, in your 20s, and maybe in your 30s, I would
Mm-hmm.
say yes, wholeheartedly, to little money, but
Yeah.
principles and adores me. But at a 40 year old Stasio, I would say,
There is much more
because of
need.
the fact that I am looking for somebody who is 40, well, I'm not looking. If I'm going to be in a relationship, I'd be in a relationship with somebody who is older than me, either 40 or older. I believe
Yeah.
that somebody who is 40 and older, having those principles, will probably, if not in a position, would be on their way to a position of financial uh, responsibility, freedom, that kind of thing. If not there yet, is on his way
Okay.
there. So I hope that answer. I hope it is clear what I said, and if it answers my question. But for me,
Yes.
it's principles over pennies, because the right principles will get you the pennies and the pounds.
In 2021,
Mm-hmm.
single person, what is dating looking like for you? This is in the case that you were to be looking. Okay, let me touch that up.
Okay.
And what is your idea of a perfect date? And
Wow.
maybe perfect is too much. Let me just
Yeah,
ask
yeah. On the
yeah.
spot, I mean, maybe if I sit down and think about it, would be a different answer. But on the spot, I would say I am, for me, dating is about sifting through. You know, it's about collecting data to see who is the
Okay.
right fit for you. So dating for
Mm-hmm.
me is getting to know people to see if, okay, this is a right fit. So you can date with different purposes, right? Um,
Yes.
so if you're dating with the intention to find the right partner, and that partnership can either be a commitment or it
Mm-hmm.
could be marriage, in the sense of getting married by what the law says, or it can just be a commitment, like we're in a
Yes.
relationship, we have a partnership. So
Okay.
dating for me is collecting data and really filtering through that process to filter through. It does not have to involve sex, but it may
Mm-hmm.
involve sex depending on the person, right?
And what
So,
they choose to do. Yeah.
but for me, it's just a process of getting to know, of collecting data to see who fits. I think it is best to date multiple people because that
Okay.
way you don't get stuck. For example, if you find somebody who is okay, them not bad, them not good, them just okay, you may end up
Mm-hmm.
being with that person because you have no other option,
You
in the
never
sense
thought
that
about
you're
other
not,
options.
like, if you're dating multiple persons, then you can actually say, oh, but this person really not treating me good, or
Yeah.
because you realize that one person may be putting out more effort, or
Effort.
so I think you should date multiple persons um,
Mm-hmm.
until you reach to a point now where by elimination you have decided, okay, this is the person
This is
that
the
would be
person.
best suited for the partnership that I am looking, based on my values and where I am going in life and where I want to go, and based on where they want to go, and compatibility and energy and all of that thing. So
Yeah.
so that is in terms of the dating phase. In terms of now, uh what a perfect date would be for me, because of the meaning that I've given to dating, which is getting
Mm-hmm.
to know. I think like a good first date for me would be unlike, it wouldn't be the movies, it wouldn't be
Yeah.
anything that would not help me to get to know you a little more. So it could even be walking up the hill, working out. So
Yeah.
that could be a good date for me, because one, I get to kill. I love to I used to
Take
say, before
one
being a
stone, kill
vegan, I
two
used to
birds.
say one stone kill two birds. But as a vegan now, I will say pick two mango with one stick, right? So I
Nice
get to
one.
work out. So
Yes.
I can get to work out, but at the same time, so it's more a part of you, either me being a part of your current lifestyle habits, or you being a
Mm-hmm.
part of mine. And I think dating works out better initially in that way, because what tends to happen is that, let's say the guy looking you, and him do things outside of what him normally do. So
Yeah.
him bring you go here, so him bring you go here, and it's not something him normally do. Him just trying to impress, which is
Impress
fine.
you.
But
And that's
in trying to do that, that is what you,
mm,
maybe that is what gets you to like him. You say, boy,
yeah.
whatever. And then now when you're together, him don't do that anymore, because that was
Him
not
don't do
even
that
a part of
here.
his lifestyle. So I would
Yes.
say, one, a first date, first kind of the first couple of weeks would be more really getting to know, and that could be in the form of maybe even sitting at the park talking, maybe
Mm.
doing walking up Mountain
Yeah.
Spring in Jamaica. So you get to see if they're really
Simple
interested
stuff.
in the workout,
Mm.
walking, or them just
Yeah.
say them interested because
True.
whatever.
You
Um,
can see different things too.
yeah, so it's really things like that, because it's really about, you want to get to know the real person. And
Yes.
if you're at a sorry, if you're at a movie, First of all, if we watch a movie, you cannot talk to me. You cannot talk to me because I don't want nothing. I am that kind of person. You have to stay quiet, right? Because I don't want to miss what the movie is saying. I don't want to have to ask you, what they say, right? So I don't want you talking to me and telling me nothing but, oh, you look nice. No, I don't want to hear that right now. I'm watching the movie. I'm here to watch the movie, right? So that's not the first date for me. So it would be anything that's within my current lifestyle and likes and passions that we can get to do together. Whether it's whether, as I say, is walking or sitting at the park or going on an adventure road trip or something like that. Something that you give you the opportunity to get to know somebody and see them in them elements. So even dating could be going on with friends. You can see how they act around people, how them talk, how them treat people, and all of those things. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And you want to get an idea too of when you're not all dressed up and you're just in your workout.
You know what? Yes, so that's why the exercise one would be good. Even going to the gym together, because they know when them sweat and all of that, you can say, we're not can manage. I'm like so. So you don't waste your weeks. So yeah. Like, and I don't want to waste anybody's time either. So I prefer for you to see. I know they say first impressions last, but I prefer for you to see me without the makeup, without all of that, and you're still interested and you still want more than. So now when you actually take me out to something different now, then you say, bombard. You clean up.
Yes, definitely.
I'm not saying that they mustn't put. In fact, what I'm saying in terms of dating, because people may think that because I say walking or doing those things that this good man they can't get for me can't get me not for pay, spend no money, me not for do nothing or that. Those things don't have to be expensive, but they have to be intentional and thought out, right? Because the truth is, I know that enough people will give me slack for this, or not will agree with me on this one. Most women, but for me, that first date or maybe first and second, it's not because if men continue, because I'm looking for the man that I'm looking, I'm not looking, but the man,
the man that you want to find you.
No, but the man. Well, when I say I'm not looking, I shouldn't even say that either, because when I'm ready, I will be intentional about it. So it's not to say that because when you wait for the man to come to you, the only options you have are the men that come to you. So you have to you can't just leave the options like that. And it can just mean that you see somebody. And it don't mean everybody go to you. You might think the person is okay. Them open them mouth, them talk. You realize
it's a whole different
whatever. So you're still in control. You choose that. Okay, let me see what this person is about. You may say to them to start a conversation. You might say something to them like, "Oh, I like your shirt" or whatever, and leave. Because trust me, if the man is interested, he is going to continue that conversation. So you do the first part, so you can do it right this or no, and you can whatever. So if you're friends, because women might say, I'm not going to approach any. Well, guess what? If you don't approach, you may just leave with who come to you, and sometimes the ones who come to you may not be the best of the crop, the creme de la creme, right? So you have to make them to say you're there. So you have to go to them, tell them something, and then they can ease back and make them continue. But yeah, that's a tangent. All that time went on a tangent. But yeah, so I really, what's next then? The one you attract, right?
The one you attract.
Yes, so I don't remember what I was saying. That happens to me.
Pretty much you were just defining for us the whole difference of, in terms of dating, how you view dating. It's a
Ah,
process of,
ah.
getting to know the person before you
Right,
move into
right.
something.
So it's more of a getting to know, and because I'm clear that what the
Mhm.
purpose of dating, then at the initial stages, I don't need you to be spending $1 million on me. I don't need that because I also want someone who is financially responsible. So if you are over maybe compensating, that would not be attractive
So,
for me, right? So I
okay.
have to know. So you have to be intentional. You have to show that there is interest, and you also have to show that you would be willing to spend on all of that. But because financial responsibility is a value of mine, then I would
Hmm.
also take into consideration how you are spending. Like, oh, you're just a um you know, I mean, if you
Yes.
haven't and you budgeted, because you have people that budget dating into their thing, so they know that for
Yes,
the
they
month,
have
they're
salary and
spending this amount for dating, so that's
mhm.
fine as well. Um, but just noting that getting to know somebody and gathering the data and sifting
Is
through
the
and
purpose.
filtering is the purpose, or those are the purposes. So the date should fit what the purpose is.
All right. Thank you so much. So I have a question from Crystal. How
How
many
you
people do you think about dating that way? It seems very Oprah, SQ, and novel.
Well, I don't know if other people think about dating that way, but I do because um, I'm at a point where I kind of know what I want, and because I know it's a partnership that I want, then I have to
Mhm.
date in a particular way to find. It's as if it's like, let's say you're looking for um if you're looking for vegan food, right? It's harder
Mhm.
to find vegan food at a non-vegan restaurant. Not saying that it doesn't exist, because I
Yeah.
find three bean stew at 100, the restaurant, but
Mhm.
it's more likely not going to exist. So if my strategy is going to all the non-vegan foods to find vegan restaurants, more than likely I will not be satisfied, right? So
Mhm.
I have to have the right dating strategy to get the kind of results I want, especially since I'm looking for a partnership, right? So yeah.
Well, said not many MBS in Jamaica.
It's a good name
Me
so
buy
because
ice cream and we there.
and that's the issue, and that's the reason why we make so many. Not saying that even if you go through the dating and you find somebody, things don't happen, but things are more likely to happen, and you're more likely to make wrong choices when you don't date, when you don't have your options, and when you have your option, it's
Yeah.
easier to see that somebody not doing something right, or you're not settling, because there are other persons and it's easier to drop. Then I'm
Yeah.
gonna, yeah, you're not ready. And it's easier to recognize, well, as it's easier to recognize too when people are not doing what they're supposed to do.
Supposed to. True.
Because yeah, especially you have somebody who's showing you all the effort, who whatever, and then this person calling when them feel like, you more than likely going to say, but that one ain't not
It's gonna
easy.
be consistent
Right,
throughout.
right,
Mm.
right. If it was that person alone, you probably would have given him a second chance. But, him give
We
you an
call it
excuse, say, him him lose the number them out him phone. Or
yes.
some excuse and give if the day like hospital or whatever excuses them give.
So,
Yo,
Katia,
these
Joy
good examples.
Maker said, it sounds like you have it all planned out, well planned
You
out.
know that it's not necessarily all planned out because you know, say you can be planning and things, whatever. But planned in the sense where just as in your personal branding, you have to know who you are, what you stand for, what you represent. So life and business is not separate entities, you know, right? So
True.
who you are, what you stand for, what you represent, what you want to accomplish in business and in life, because those things matter. So if
Yeah.
I know, right? If you let me give a different example because I don't want to stir the answers, right? But if I know that and I want to to live I don't want to give this example either, but whatever, right? I want to live a
Okay.
healthy life, right? And this is where I'm headed. Or I know that I want to travel the world, right? And I want to travel the world with my significant other, right? Let's say the person I am, not saying that people can't change. So just giving an example on a just to give an example so you get an idea of what I'm trying to say, right? Let's say this person have a deep fear of flying and they make up their mind that they are not going to fly, right?
Yeah.
Then if you want to travel with a significant other and this person refused to fly, and that's the kind of life you want to be living, traveling the world,
Mm-hmm.
just giving an example, because you know where you're headed, it's easier to say, boy, maybe this not going to work. You're a nice
Mm-hmm.
guy, but you may not be a nice guy for me, right?
Yeah.
So, or he says, you're a nice girl, but you're not a nice girl for me, right? Because maybe he wants somebody who is going to cook him rice and peas and chicken and oxtail and all of that. I'm gonna depend that, right?
Drew Alexandra, welcome. He
Right?
was
So,
just commenting on
So
Crystal's
I may be a
comment.
nice girl, but not a nice girl for him and the kind of life that he wants to live. Not saying things
Yeah.
can't change, but you don't make decision based on a hope that things will change, right? You make decision based on the information you have available to you at this particular moment. So if in the
Exactly.
end you make the decision and you make the decision based on what you know and the information you have, and then something happen in the future, that's fine. But you can't have the red flag and the information in front of you and decide, say, I'm going to still make a decision here because potential, it might change, it might not change. Hello? No,
Yeah.
man, you make it with the information you have available at the moment, right?